Hi. Yes, I are. Those who hath an ear, let him hear. Anyway, I'm fixing to go outside for a walk, and it's chilly, and I'm a baby, but I'm still gonna go do it. Just see if I can only do one lap, then at least that's a lap. Anyway, ooh, it is chilly in here, so I imagine it's chilly out there. But you know what? The sun is out there, so maybe it might be a little warmer. And there's that barn I was talking about. Okay, so I see what that is. In my cozy, the cozy I made that's in the blue, there's a barn. And it kind of, I think it's the blue one. I did two farm ones, okay, but it looks like the blue colors to me. So I'm going to get this picture out where you can see it. Because this barn, I had made a dart through part of it, so it changed the shape on me. And so I couldn't figure, when you got to the front, it looked like a barn. But when you got to the back, it looked it all weird. Looked it. Is that a word? I made it one. You know that you can make up words, right? You have a root word, and then you have a prefix and a suffix. And depending on what they mean and what you're trying to say, there you are. You have a word. That's part of spelling and vocabulary. Vocabulary. The spelling part's real important too, and especially if you're going to include typing, which you guys all do typing, but I used to do it, like that. But not real fast, but totally accurate. You wouldn't find typos in my stuff. And I didn't have a word processor. It took a long time to get there, but I did get there. And so there's quality in being a little bit slower, you know? Yeah, it's moving. Okay, so I'm going to try to go out here and go for a walk. I feel like I need to do that. And so if you are in a neighborhood and I don't feel safe going walking out of the neighborhood. Not unless there's power in numbers. And even then, it could not be good. So you want to keep yourself away from where you could be prey. The kind that a lion would devour. You don't want to be that. I don't want to be scary out there, but you guys really should take it to heart. I mean, even 30 years ago, I wonder if it was even longer, women kept coming up missing, usually on a park, on a run around the park, that's got woods around it and stuff. It's a perfect place. So you be careful. And I don't have it, but I think I ought to get it just in case. You never know. I don't go anywhere now, but I will. And it might be good to have a little weapon. Those little stunt things that you might could wear on your. You don't want to hurt somebody. You want to be able to have control. And I've never used one, and I don't want one used on me. But I know if somebody is trying to mess with you, I mean, you can mess with them. You need it readily available, though. Like somebody who has a gun in a holster, ready to strike. Not to strike out, but to in self-defense. Even you got to be careful with your tempers out there, guys. And you need to take life seriously. I'm talking to a certain few, whoever gets it, that it fits, okay? Because sometimes it does, and you never know what I'm going to talk about. And you can say sometimes it's inspiration as to what I say, but maybe it'll help somebody. I have a lot of stories to tell, and it's not that I would be bragging whatsoever, but they're experiences, and sometimes you could learn from them. And I don't need these to talk. But I want to show you guys that barn, because if you have been watching my videos, I wish you'd watch them all. I want to show you what that barn looks like. It's a picture that you hang on a wall. And since it's facing me, I don't know. I always have a hard time. I'm going to come get it. It's just leaning up against the bar stool. Ow. So maybe I can get it over here. And it's got lint on it, too. So it's going to be... I just want to show you the barn. Okay, let's see. If you can see. Can you see a barn? I think that's the barn. So it's got like a lean-to thing on the side. You'll find that a lot with barns. I didn't notice what it was the other day. But it is... Okay, I'm sorry. The thing on the right-hand side, I don't know if it would be on the right-hand side for you. But anyway, it's like a lean-to. It goes down. Oh, that's where you put the feed and stuff, okay? And sometimes you have stalls there for animals. And then you've got the 1, 2, 3 story maybe barn. I went into a barn once. See, there you go, inspiration. I've always, I'm just putting this back. Okay, ow. I'll forget. Oh, a barn. Was on our way. A guy named Daniel was with me at that time. And we were on our way to the coast. Beautiful roads, guys. Just going out to the coast from inside Vancouver. I'm not sure what roads you'd take, but you want something with scenery, you know, windy. Yeah, grab my glasses. Just in case I decide I want to put them on. Oh, I'm sorry about the glare. Jeez. Okay, need to pay attention, right? I think I need this bottle of water. And I think maybe it'd be better if I had some water right now. I don't know how I'm going to do this. Let's see. Sorry. I can disappear. I just need to have some water before I go on this walk. I think that's a good idea for everybody. No, you're down there. Oh. Give your body a drink of just water, guys. And then when you have water, don't make it tap water. I mean, you do need to filter it. Filtering is good. And those Britas, they do have a good filter. And you can make your own filters, but that's a little drastic. That is something we did, though. Let me grab this. I'll go from one subject to the next. I didn't get to the barn when I was into another story. What would I say? Come along and let me sing a song. Oh, the sun is shining. Maybe that'll be good. Okay. Oh, the wind's blowing. I'm gonna make it just a little bit anyway. Have to. I feel like I need long sleeves on though, and I got a short sleeve t-shirt on. Oh. Yeah, need to walk. Need mobility, guys. If you don't use it, you lose it. I just remember when I was here before and the caregivers were coming in, and Mom and Dad and also Uncle Roger, all three of them had people coming in a certain amount of hours a week. I don't know how all that works, but they assess your mobility. Dad really should be reassessed. He's having a hard time. I mean, he's doing it, but he's having a hard time, and he lays in that recliner way too much. But he can't help himself, I guess, or maybe he just can't help it. He needs some motivation. You know, like some people close around his age. Doesn't have to be his age, but, you know, somebody to associate with, play a card game with. He's into his westerns though. I mean, and he's into Heartland because that's Mama. He sees himself as Ty and Mother as Amy. And he gets right emotional about it all. I mean, he cries. Tears. You can't help yourself, you know. I know how it feels. The tears just come falling out of your eyeballs. You didn't conjure them up. They just happen. It's like, damn. Anyway, I'm going to try. We'll see if I get distracted enough I can keep on walking. So if I got to slow down. I'm walking like I'm a young thing. I need to work up to that. Well, this guy's got some vehicles on his thing. Hopefully they're not wrecked. They might be new. No, I see a fender's missing. Or I mean, I don't know what you call it. It's at the bottom of the back door on a van. There's like a rubber thing or a decorative thing. So the outside thing is missing. Let's see if there's anything else. It's just interesting. I guess I could show you what I'm talking about. Okay. This guy, yeah, they're wrecked. They're just not always wrecked bad. This one's got a flat tire. And this is what I was talking about right here. The little decorative thing that comes out over the back. Nice van. Okay. Well, it'll be going to an insurance place probably. I'm not sure. They might be going to go fix them, but if they total them as part of an insurance deal, then you know you can buy it at auction. And then sometimes it's just a couple of things that you got to fix. Because you know, if it's, it looks like it's pretty much intact. I think I saw a broken window, a flat tire, that decorative thing, and I don't know about anything else. That would be an easy fix if the engine's good, you know? You guys out there think about that if you can't afford those expensive cars. I mean, it's nice to want and to actually we need it, but I don't have it. I sure do need it. I need a vehicle. I need to have some freedom. I need to go visit some people. And I'm gonna need to go home. Unless I can figure out other ways to take care of things. Yeah, I'm bad. I'm really, really bad. Sometimes I just, you know, it just all boils out of me. So, you gotta be careful, guys. You know, like, I don't know how to control myself. It's not funny. But sometimes you get to that point where, you know, you just have to say it. You don't even know how you're feeling until you're saying it. Well, you kind of do, but you know, things are boiling in your head for a long time. And then they need to be said. It rhymed, okay? I need to go back over these and like take shorthand, write down my stuff, or slow it down somehow. Like still pictures with the captions. You know that you can see my stuff with captions, right? I don't know how they do it, but it'll pop up where it's got the script going. You know, subtitles, but it's my whole script. So it takes up part of the picture. But you know, those people who need to see print to help them figure out what was said, because you know, I don't always enunciate my words very good, especially with not having the teeth. Yes, I know. Endeavor. It was painful. It's not funny. It really did get painful. And then when I tried to take them out, I had put way too much glue in. And oh my God, I was trying to take them out early, you know. It wasn't like I wanted them to stay all day. Anyway, I felt like, I don't know how to describe it. In one part, it wasn't bad because it wasn't hurting. But then when I wanted to try to do something, I'm going to have some of it ground down. Something. I mean, it would be nice to have teeth. It'd be nice to have control of my lip. And to be able to enunciate my words better. Okay, I thought that car was going to come this way. So I got up on that sidewalk. Okay, I'm just going to be in another world and not think about my back. And then I'll just keep on going. It is a nice day. You could even say a beautiful day. I hope you don't have a lot of glare. I'm just holding this thing. I guess I could go over here. Anyway. Yeah, I'm walking too fast again. Okay, slow it down, slow it down. I tend to do that. I get out here and just go for some reason. And I don't think that that's necessarily a good thing. What is it the tortoise does? You know, he goes slow. I don't think he's stopping to smell the roses. I think he just is, he can't go fast. He's a turtle, right? Think about it. Those fat legs and that body and trying to move. I'm talking about the turtle now. How awkward. And it's racing against a rabbit who's so fast. And the rabbit just thinks he's got it made because he's so fast. That turtle's so slow. I think that's how it goes. Anyway. Slow and steady. Maybe. I hate it, man. I don't like it. I'm walking down the middle of the road, so hopefully I'll hear if somebody comes. It's really nice and serene. I wondered, I think I said that the other day. Yeah, I used to wonder, what does surreal mean? I don't know what surreal means. Maybe it's close to serene. And that's seems to be serene. You know, I kind of lost it, but I think it's like heavenly serene. Very nice type of deal. So I guess surreal would be super nice. Reality, maybe, huh? Yeah, I'm walking too fast again. Because I can feel it in my bones. Don't know how to describe that either. I need to strengthen my bones. I just need exercise, mobility, activity. So the walking provides that if I just remember to do it. And that is part of my treatment. It's part of cancer treatment is to walk an hour a day, continually, not, you know, a little bit here and a little bit there. Even though a little bit here and a little bit there is better than nothing. And then you work up. That's what she told me, to work my way up. Man, I couldn't walk hardly any, you know, when I started. So I'm doing great, even in my current condition. But I think the more I walk, the better it'll be. The better I'll be. Maybe get back. See, that's a step thing. Go up and down on the curb. As the cars come, I have to get off the street. Because you can't trust them not to hit you. I mean, nobody wants to hit you, but they might not be paying attention. They don't expect you to be there. And I'm out here in the middle of the road. So proactive has to be proactive. Because no, I don't think I would bounce off the car too well. I might, but it wouldn't feel good. I can't stop myself. I'm walking too fast. Have to use more of my senses, you know. Pay attention to everything. Like the walking, not running into a car because I'm not paying attention. Oh, my butt hurts. I hope that that's a good thing. Not quite sure, because it could be my bones, and that wouldn't be good. Now, my muscles, yeah, that would be good, because that means I'm doing something. I'm activating muscles that are lazy. I'm talking about me, guys, but I think it's a lot of us. If we sit around and sit around and sit around, yes, you have to factor in my age, okay? But I'm just telling you, muscle turns to flab. And then if you use your muscles, supposedly, you know, that, what is it, muscle weighs more than fat. So if you're muscular and you weigh something, you can contribute it to muscles. Instead of, I needed my ponytail thing. I think I look better with my hair down, though. And I do like my hair up, actually, too. And I like my widow's peak. It makes my face into a heart. I have a heart-shaped face. When I was young, I didn't like that widow's peak. I don't think I've really appreciated it till the last year. Someone who has a widow's peak and his hair is always gorgeous and it's every which way but loose. I like it. Okay, well, it's good to be walking. I hope I continue to do so. Maybe the worst of wintertime is over, but we really haven't had one. I can remember when I lived in Vancouver, over on the other side of the state, every year, first 2 weeks of February, ice storms. I mean, we had ice, thick ice, everywhere. Went downtown and took pictures of all the statues and different things, monuments with all this stuff all over. And it was a crazy little memory there. Okay. Once upon a time I had pictures of all that, like I just said. You know, icicles coming out their noses, and the ice was at least an inch, if not more, thick on everything. The trees were split right down the middle, you know, depending on the branches, if they got too heavy. And I might exaggerate. We'll start a half inch to an inch and a half. thick icicles. Because I imagine there was some wind blowing with it too, you know. So you got ice coming down. It's a wet ice and it sticks. Then you got the wind just freeze drying it. That's funny. Okay. It's not funny, but it's the truth, you see. I got you the sun again. Sorry. Can't keep my hair out of my face. Whoever's car that is that's running, surely they know that it's running. I don't know that anybody's in it. They might have gone in and gotten distracted and stayed a while. I used to do that. Not leave the car running, though, because it would have been out there a long time, because I talk a lot. I had quite a few Avon customers in Perryton, Texas, and I would go and visit with all of them, you know. And it was during a time I was single, so I had the time to do it, except for my job got in the way. In the beginning, my job was supposed to include the fact that I could deliver my Avon while I was in the neighborhood. You know, I'm delivering a pizza, and there they are, and I got to order for them in my car. You know, yeah, I know. When you're working for somebody, you're working for them. But she made that agreement with me that I could do that. But as time went by, things change, you know. People got to put their 2 cents worth into things. Made it very difficult to do my deliveries. But the point is, I did like to spend time with my customers. I like to visit. But when you do get in a relationship and things change, you know, you don't have all that time. You can't be giving your time to everybody else and forget what you're doing. Why bother? Why bother having a relationship if you're not going to be together? You want to enjoy and do things together. And yes, have those things in common will make things so lovely. So very lovely. There are those aspirations, you know. Doesn't mean you're going to get them, but it's a nice dream. Possibilities are out there. So how many times have I gone in this circle? I haven't been counting. I just go up and down the street. Okay. What's the name of that? Houdini is in it. I got that music is playing in my head, giving me a little bounce in my step. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Houdini. You guys know the song. I don't. But it's in my head playing anyway. Here I come and here I go. That might be the words. I don't know. Here I come and here I go. Like a Houdini. Yeah. Slinky. Slithering, you know, but not in a bad way. Okay. There are those who are slick. Joseph is slick in some ways. Yeah, that's a big old story that I probably can't tell. It was funny though. And when you look back, when you were there, it was not funny at all. Podunk, Kansas. Oh, they're lucky I didn't have money to clean up that town. Anyway, doesn't matter. What matters is take care and be aware. And there are those out to tear you apart. So you do have to watch out. Here I come and here I go. That's all I got. And the Houdini thing. Today is Saturday. I just remembered that. And I'm not quite sure. I think today's the 10th. February 10th. It's either the 10th or the 11th. I go to bed after midnight, so the date changes and stuff. So I get a little confused. Oh, I'm hurting. Okay, so what's another song, guys? I'm going to stand still for a minute. I hear dings. I think someone else has a phone around that's got a dinger, because it's not mine. Unless it's on a silent dinger. Yeah, I'm kind of limping now. It's all in my hip down, and it's not, okay, what would I call that? There's a buzzing going on in my butt, in my muscles and in my bones. That would maybe be my blood. Yeah, it's going down my legs too. So there's this tingling sensation going on. Maybe it's nerves. I can feel them spreading down my leg. Weird. Forgot to turn Dad's front porch light off. Come and see your daddy and your grandpa every chance you get, guys. Give him something to live for, huh? I'm not everything, you know. I probably stimulate his blood once in a while, but we do pretty good. I do get loud sometimes. Some of the things he says, he just doesn't hear himself, and I take offense. And I have to tell him. I mean, think about what you're saying and how do you sound. I mean, in just bad ways. It's from his upbringing and his neck of the woods and that southern, kind of like a hillbilly, but not. Mentality is what I'm talking about, okay? How men feel about women, how all kinds of things, even race, because of where we were. He was brought up in North Carolina, you know, during a time, a weird time. But still, I wouldn't say that he's racist. But some of the comments he makes, it would seem like it. And then he just says off the wall things to me that's not cool. And so I have to tell him about that. I'm not taking that. I don't think he means it as bad as he sounds. But sometimes he's just, I can't handle it very good. I have to call him on it. I have to say, hey, did you hear what you just said? You can't be doing that. Why do you do that? Anyway, we go down through the generations. He's 88 years old, so that's 8 generations ago, right? Is it? No. A decade is 10 years. Maybe a generation is 20. But there are people being born all the time. So you can't just, I guess, you're in the beginning of that generation or the end. But if 20 years is a generation, that's a long time. You know what? I'm going to stop for a second. I'll go one more lap and then I got to stop. My hair, I hate that. It's in my mouth. That's another reason for the glasses. They kind of keep your hair away from your face a little bit. I just need to bring out my shades. Yes, it came into my head again. The future is so bright. You gotta wear shades. So, yeah, life. Oh, there's a garage door opening. I'm going, what's that noise over there? Okay. I will naturally slow down here in a second because that's how my legs are feeling. I pushed it to the limit. Maybe not the limit, but as far as I want to go. Oh, good. I'll blow my hair to the back of my head instead of in the front. Okay. Yeah, I wonder what they're going to do with that car. That's a nice van. Ow. What kind is it? Is it a Dodge? You know, I don't know how I feel about Dodges because their transmissions were famous for going out. It's a Ford. Ow. Ow, ow, ow. Okay, I'm definitely stopping. Time to sit down and rest. Have a drink of water. So that's what I started to say another time earlier was, drink before you exercise and drink after. Maybe even in between, depending on how much you exercise. I need to start going to the gym. That's where I could be walking, and I bet I could use their treadmill. And I like the elliptical machine. I used to do that, but I don't know if I can do that anymore. Here's my house anyway, Dad's house, where I'm staying for the moment. Okay. Oh. Yeah. I bet I didn't walk very far. Can't see that. 37 minutes. Okay, that's how far in time we walked. And then I would have to check, and I can check my iHeart thing. It'll tell me how many steps and how many miles I walked. So I could put that in the comments if I thought about it. But you have to do it at the time. Right? Let's see. Oh, God. So, we probably covered a lot of territory. But yeah, a lot of things that affect us come from our youth. And like the music. I love the music of when I was young. Junior high up through high school. Love that music. And Good Vibrations is playing in my head. I'm not actually doing it, revving up and doing it. And that's the Bee Gees. I thought it was maybe the Monkees. That's what came to my head. I was trying to picture. I could see the Monkees dancing to that or something, but surely they did their own music. I'll have to look up all these things. I need to write them down because I forget. Definitely loved the Shondells, Tommy James and the Shondells, their music. Not necessarily their look. When you look at them now, wow. I'm talking about looking at them then, and you'd be here now. So I wouldn't have thought the Bee Gees did that. But I can hear it playing in my head. Good Vibrations, giving me exaltations. Good Vibrations. Sorry. I'm just trying to, I shouldn't do that right now. I was indulging and listening to them and actually watching them. I could see them for some reason. I don't know why. That movie, what's the name of it? It was a movie that the Bee Gees did, but they were being the Beatles. And it's about Strawberry Fields Forever is in that movie. When I get older, losing my hair, many years from now. Do 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 do. Anyway, he wants to know if she's still gonna love him and bring him his wine and whatever. But that's in that song. Anyway, it's a lot of Beatles songs, and the Bee Gees are the ones playing it. And then also, I think, Peter Frampton. And it's Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band is the name of it, okay? So if you want to trip out on something that's pretty cool, I mean, it's old. I don't know what year that would be, but it's got to be a long time ago. At least 40 years. Maybe more. Because it's amazing. I was 19, fixing to be 20, 50 years ago. That is a trip. And I put some pictures out recently on my Facebook that showed what I looked like when I was writing those papers that I read on this channel. I was writing, I was analyzing, and I was really into it, and really felt compelled at times, and the inspiration is there. I think if you listen, really listen to what I'm saying and let it penetrate your head, you will see that there was something special there. And that was not just for me. That was for me to share with you and your friends and your family and everybody, because there is great messages in my stuff. And I do feel they were inspired. Something made my head tick, and I was not smoking pot all the time, guys. Not during some of those writings, okay? I mean, I smoked pot whenever I could. But I was up on a mountain on 500 acres where I had no company. I had the cows and pretty land. I loved it up there. It was surreal. Now that I know what surreal means, in my head I'm thinking something beautiful. It's more than real. It's more special than real. And I don't know if that's true. I'll have to look that up. That's my take on it, especially since I was talking about serene and serenity. And I think that's heavenly. And what a nice place to be, you know? So anyway, up there on that mountain, there was a lot of cows. I don't think they were there all the time, though. Maybe they were there, well, you know, when you got pastures that are green, you got cows need to eat, that's where they go. That's where you put them. I rented the house from the guy that ran the cattle on the property. Now, I don't know if he owned the property or if he just ran cattle there. He might have owned it. But it was a series of events that got me that house. I mean, I didn't go and apply for that house. Someone lived there, and then he moved out, and someone else moved in. And then the next thing you know, I moved in with her, and then the next thing you know, she moved out, and there I am with all the bills, and this, it's a big old house is what it was, and it was right up by a motocross track, up Washougal Canyon. I mean, they had a big motorcycle cross there a couple times a year, I think, or maybe just a couple of days, you know, like a weekend. I don't really know. There's a lot of stories that go with that. Pretty interesting in my mind's eye. I really should write all these things down. And yeah, sometimes I'm just talking to myself, you know. I've been crazy. I've done really crazy things. All for, what would you call it? Sexual attraction. Because I had lost hope in love. Didn't believe in love. I didn't like men either. I mean, I loved them, but I didn't love them. I was totally attracted to them, I will say. But no. Anyway, Just a lot of stories in my head. Some are good and some are bad. I started out talking about Washougal Mountain. So you go up the canyon 15 miles, and then just past that, there's a little store. It was, I mean, it might have grown up by now, but there was just off to the right-hand side, just a little ways up from the road that you took to go to my place, there was a store, a convenience store. I'm not sure if they were a restaurant or not, but it was a place that people going up to the falls at the top of the mountain would stop there to get snacks and things or drinks, and on the way down. So I think it was 15 miles there, and I'm not sure how many miles up to the top. And I'm not sure if it's called Lucius Falls or Multnomah Falls, or maybe it's some other name. There's a falls up there anyway. And there's I want to say a camp. He had buildings and stuff, and this guy that I knew, that I met up there, ran this camp. And what it was people would rent it out. You know, so you rent the camp and bring all your scouts with you or whatever, your church people that you want to take on a camping deal. The youth. You have the youth, and then you have counselors, and then you do stuff anyway, and then they have bunks there. But they also, they're right up there by that falls. And they had a craft show, which I sold things at. I found out about it, and so I think I was up there one day, did that, and that's how I met Daniel. Daniel showed up there. That was a trip. See, there's a memory popped in my head I haven't seen, and then you see it in vivid color. I can see him. I met him when my daughter was gone to her dad's. She would go see her dad 1 month out of the year in the summer. And I met him while she was gone. And that was a whirlwind thing. And I forgot that I was in love with another guy. You wouldn't think you could do that, but I did. And it was because I was in love with a guy I couldn't have, okay? I don't know if you ever have situations like that. You love them and you just love them to pieces, and you put your life on hold and you just can't do that. Not that you have a whole... Nothing would be finer than to be with your other half. Itself, or being without your other half. That's not cool. And there needs to be your other half, guys. You need to mesh. You need to mesh really good. And then you need to have the same goals. You need to be headed the same place. And then, so there's these big ones that they talk about. You see how I scatter. For divorce. When you're young and getting married and having children, and then, so it's, religion is one reason for divorce. The discipline of the children is another one. Sex is a big one. You need to be copacetic, and you need to love each other. If you don't love each other, then, it gets very blasé, probably after a while. You need the right ingredients. You need a love stew. You need to culminate all those things together like a witch's brew. Let's see, that rhymed. I'm going to come back in time, and I'm going to take that and write it down. Cool beans. This is what would happen when I was writing. I would write, and oh my God, when I first started writing, my mother had given me a journal. I'm sorry, I didn't see my face was gone because I had my eyes shut. And we were supposed to write in this journal, and I'm up there on that mountain. And I have told you before, I spent a lot of time with the scriptures up there too. But we are told that we should keep a journal. I mean, that's what the church says. And it is a very good thing for a lot of reasons because you can get a lot of self help that way. Plus, you record events with fresh eyes as to what happened so you don't lose it because then other people don't get to know about it. And there's some special things that happen in the world. I mean, just in your own little world, there are special things that happen. And you need to capture it. You know, you got it in your head, but nobody else saw it. And how do you explain it? I saw something my dad did. It was totally an accident, and there was no way I could tell him to stop in time. I just had it in my head. I saw it coming. Little Searle was in the back of a station wagon, I believe. You know, and we must have had the back down or something because Dad was throwing pieces of metal in there. I'm not sure what kind of metal. You know, I'm almost thinking thin, long. Anyway, he would take it and just chuck it in there, okay? Because he was loading it and he was loading it fast. Little Searle was in there. It went right in his mouth. Now, I don't know what happened, but that had to have hurt like hell. And that should have been a bloody mess. And Dad doesn't even know he did it. You know, I couldn't tell him in time. Little Searle was in such a shock. I don't even know. Do you remember that, Searle? If you're watching and listening, I hope you are. Give your Aunt Lou a listen. I do have a lot of good words of advice. However, I also have ramblings and memories, and sometimes those memories might help you. I'm not going to be sharing some of them. I don't know, I just thought of one, but not one I could really share. I don't know how to do it without their names, and then, you know, they're not going to want to hear that. Bad stories, some of them. What we do for our devices. No. Getting a hold of something that you want, you know, like cocaine. The channels you have to go through to get that sometimes is not cool. And then the temptation is so strong to do it more and more. Again, because you love it. All I know is it does leave damage behind. So be careful if you guys are out there doing that. Be totally careful. You need to take care of your bodies. And these things can hurt your bodies. We don't think about it. You know, when you're young, you're invincible. And you're not afraid of anything. Serious. I was hell on wheels. In a good way. In a good way. Because I've always been spreading the word. Teaching in my own way. The things that I know. Because it gives people hope. You know, so many people out there don't have hope and they don't have a reason for living. They don't see the reason for living. I don't really think my daughter feels that way, but she has in the past. Maybe she still does. Feels like when you're dead, you're dead. You know, you're gonna go lay down in that grave and that's that. That is not true. I'm here to tell you that is not true. You need to think about that. Just think about going home to your mom and pop. And I'm talking about your heavenly mother and father, okay? You now realize who they are, and you knew them well before you ever came down here. You had a spiritual existence where you grew up as a child and grew into an adult. And you did things, and you had friends, and there was all kinds of stuff. But when we came here, we don't have that memory. But when we leave here, I'm pretty sure that we'll remember who we were in the spirit form. Because you're going to be in the spirit form anyway. So just take it, you're out of the pond. Because the spirit had to come down here for the body. And it leaves the body behind to go up there, go back there. And then in the future, there's a resurrection day where that spirit who's been waiting, like in the paper I wrote, my spirit will await for that great day. The last day of life as we know it. I'm paraphrasing, but that is my paper. I wonder when my day will be. Look that up. Now, I'm not sure if I left that in the title or not, but at least try that first. And here's a clue, if you guys made it this far. If you want to look up my stuff, it's best to include Lose Touch. In other words, look up what I just told you, which was what? I wonder when my day will be. When I am of the body dead. When I am gone away from thee. And then there's a big pause, okay? And then I said, my spirit will await for that great day. The last day of life as we know it. His great and dreadful re-entry. And I don't know the rest. I did good to do that. I'm going to have to go over my papers. But I do hear them. They pop up in my head for some reason. But they are good, guys. They really are. And so what I beseech you that ye would, this is scriptures talking, that you would read my stuff. And what I'm trying to say is, all you got to do is go listen to the videos because I've read them to you. And not only have I read my papers to you, I have talked about what happened around it and then whatever thoughts came to my head after. Sometimes the paper that I wrote only takes, just a few minutes out of what, a 30-minute or a 45-minute video. So you know I'm talking a lot. It's interesting, I think. But that's me. It's interesting to me to do it and to go and watch myself, because I do. I watch my videos too. Because, when you're talking, you're not always listening. And sometimes it is inspiration. I'll be talking to a certain few of you guys out there. It'll hit home. Maybe you can understand some other people by understanding me. I'm a very good person. And that's not being conceited. That is just how I have tried to live my life. That's how I know Jesus wants it to be. Always think about how would Jesus want it to be. Because you want to emulate him. That's the point of joining the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. You join into the family and you partake of his spirit in a big way. And you learn a lot. You learn a lot if you participate. And you also get to have a big family because everybody loves everybody in a Christ-like manner. Everybody's at different ages and we all have our sexual attraction thing, and beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, but sometimes there's a lot of beauty all around, right? So, the fair sons and daughters, I don't know if that's of Jesus, because Jesus is going to be, whoever accepts him, he becomes our Father in this church. That's why he says sons and daughters. Heavenly Father, the one we pray to, I'm just coming to the conclusion. He is the one that is the Father of our spirits. We have to remember that, okay? But there's a whole different deal going on for the physical here. Now, I've read a lot of scriptures, and I've read some of them to you that are pretty bold about the truth, So if you listen to what I read you and give it some time, sometimes I get caught up right in the middle of a verse and I'm going, what? And so then I find that I've messed around and tried to figure it out before I went on. And if I'd have just gone on to the next verse, I would have had my question answered. So sometimes it's better to just let it go with the flow. And if I'm talking to you, you never know what's going to come out of me, okay? And I do think there are a lot of good lessons that people don't even know that will come out of my head. Lessons about who you are. My voice is going away. And I see water over here. Knowing that your life has a purpose and that you existed before this one and that you were the same person before you were here. I believe that, especially out of some of the things I just read recently. I was in the book of Ether. I read that Jesus Christ showed his body to the brother of Jared. But it says it was his spiritual body. And he says that it was in the same form, shape. I'm going to just say, I got out of it that he looked the same. He looked the same there as he looks here, grown up. He grows into that person. That's who he was in the spirit form. Now, that might be really hard to believe, with genes and all that stuff, and you never know who your parents are going to be and stuff, but there are some that are chosen, and they are known where they go. And maybe at that point, the spirit does not enter the body until right before birth, or maybe at birth. I don't know. Because it says in my patriarchal blessing that when it was time for me to come to this earth, it was announced. And that those in authority came and put their hands on my head and gave me blessings that would follow me into this world. I mean, we're for this world, and maybe will follow me into the next world. The next one is the millennium, guys. Look up the millennium. The 1,000 years where Jesus will reign on this earth. And we're all going to be there. He's going to reign over us. We're going to have a third part of our being. I find that interesting. We got the spirit. Now we got the physical. And in the millennium, we're going to be semi-immortal. We're going to go through a change. We're not going to spend all that time there with the same type of thing going on. I think we're going to have all of our memories. The one from the spiritual and the one from the physical. And now we're in the millennium. I think we're going to have all of our memories. We're going to know who we are. Totally know who we are. And then, this is the time where the lion and the lamb will lay down together. The lion will start eating grass. It will not be eating the lamb anymore. So I don't know how that food chain works for the humans, because they're not humans anymore. Who knows? I don't know that part. Not that I know any part. I just know what I have read, and it resonates, and it sounds good in my head. See, that was another rhyme. I need to write that down. But it's true. I think you know what is true. Just like reading that Book of Mormon. There's so many people afraid of it. Why? Are you afraid that you will be brainwashed? This book is very, very, very interesting. You have to get through some of the stuff, It's not out there to capture you and make you just be on bated breath and all that stuff. This is records that were very sacred and special. And then there are also records about the wars, because they wanted us to know what happened to the people that lived here. What happened to the people? They would be righteous and everybody doing great. And then in a few years' time, they were not. They were bad. So you have to keep things in check, okay? You have to know what the purpose of your life is and the reason for being a good guy. But you should be a good guy and a girl. I talk to the human race. We should all be followers of Christ. We should emulate Jesus Christ. I got to take my thing off. Dang it. Close. I don't know if that kept going. It's telling me my battery's about to go. You know what? I got my charger in here. Hang on. I'll see about that. Okay. Okay, can't tell if it worked, but I think, anyway, I got it plugged in. I got the Frizzies. And with it plugged in, it won't stand up. So, I got one glove off and one glove on and a glare on you. I'm sorry. I'm going to do away from that light. I got to take this glove off, okay? Okay, so I'm over an hour. Brother, I talk a lot, don't I? I was talking about ether. How far did I go? I don't really know why I went there. But I was talking about the records. Yeah, so I was talking about what the Book of Mormon is. It is records of sacred things that were handed down from generation to generation to the ones who were the chosen prophets and different things of God. You know, things that they taught the rest of the people that Jesus taught them. And you find out it's Jesus, okay? People don't realize that Jesus is the God of this earth. He's the one that told Isaiah what to say in the first place. And I've got this thing of saying, but I do it wrong. They say that Jesus Christ quoted Isaiah, but Isaiah was told by Jesus Christ what to say and write. So, Jesus Christ was quoting himself as quoted by Isaiah. Yeah, I got it right that time. I tried to say that before and it wasn't right. But it's interesting. It's interesting when because if you read 3rd Nephi chapter 1, and I'm not sure if the other book goes with that because it might just start with 3rd Nephi. Sometimes they blend together as to one year goes to another, but specifically 3rd Nephi is about Jesus Christ, okay? His birth, his death, his resurrection, and his visit to the Americas where he showed his prints in his feet and his hands and his sides where he was stabbed. He was stabbed in his sides, not just, sitting there. Maybe that helped him to die faster. Maybe that was a good thing. It seems like in one of those classes I talked about, an institute class, they talked about it wasn't like blood that came out. It was like water. I put that word there, but I think that's basically. And I wanted to put living water because Jesus is all about living water. Meaning if you drink from his cup, you will never be thirsty. Interesting. Okay. Thank you. I like having help. I like watching my videos, and sometimes I can see that I have to have help because I'm not that good at drawing up stuff. And they end up telling stories that need to be told. Yeah, it just sounded weird just now, right? But I do get mesmerized by watching my own videos and checking out what I'm saying because I think sometimes it's not coming from me, okay? It's coming from somebody else. And he's talking to you, the person listening, especially if it resonates with you. If you find something good in what I say, then I've helped somebody today. Maybe. I just want you guys to know that great things are in tow. There you go, I'm rhyming. I can't help myself. I do like to rhyme. In stow. Maybe it would be in stow instead of in tow. In store. There's wonderful things coming in the future. Just don't know how far away it is. So that's one of the reasons for the church too, is to let you know, is to teach you the gospel and to let you know the mysteries of God. Those who are ready to find out some mysteries of God can, but you have to seek for it. What is it? Knock and the door will be open. Seek and ye shall find. Well, you have to do the seeking and the knocking. And just pray along with your studying and you will get inspiration. Inspiration to know what you're reading is true, or inspiration to get something from what you're reading that can help you in your life. And inspiration because you hear these great men of God telling you the plan of life is in there. You know, what's the deal? Why are we here? Where are we going? There is a reason for this life. There are great things to be achieved, meaning in your soul. The greatest things of all is being kind to your brothers and sisters in the world, especially they go without. I'm not talking just physical things, but they go without love. They're starving. So yeah, our job, be kind and share. If you know something that'll help somebody else, you share it with them. And that puts a big old thing at the fact that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is the best thing in the world. The best gift you could give anybody. And I should be out about doing that, but I'm doing that on my channel. There's nobody to rebuttal. It's just the ramblings of Lou and what Lou thinks. And Lou hopes that she helps you guys. And who knows what the future's going to bring, you know? I really don't know. I'm going to choose to be happy. Like one of my friends said. Choose to be happy. And that's what I need to do. It's not so easy to do. So, I need to go find out about audiobooks, right? I need to go put some audiobooks together. Then maybe I could figure out a way to make some money. I've had some advertisers approach me, but I don't know what that's all about. And I don't want to endeavor, but I need to. If a podcast is a longer thing and you're just talking to people, if there's people that are interested, but then, you know, I can see the live deal and the questions and getting caught up in the questions and not getting anywhere. I like to ramble on. But in the comments, you know, if there's something you want me to talk about, let me know. What's my take on something? I don't want to get too controversial, but you already know I am. I have my own opinions, but they come from my upbringing, and they come from what is fair and right. A lot of people don't get treated fair or right, and I don't understand how people can be that way. How can people be mean, belittle others, make fun of others? I don't understand it. And I can tell you God don't like it. So, you figure it out. Quit it if you're doing it. And I know I've talked too long, way too long. And I'll have to go and see how many miles I walked, and I'll put that in the comments. And then we'll know by, well, I don't know when I came in. But I can figure that out too, I bet. Anyway, I'm just rambling. Rambling, gambling, man. Growing up in the church was a good experience for me. I mean, really, when you look back and you look at everything, we were always active within the church, sports and everything. And I was even in a road show once, where I was up on stage acting. And I was in a dance festival once when I was a teenager in Sandy, Utah. I played basketball, volleyball, softball. I don't remember the softball awful much, and I was good at marbles when I was in the second grade. That was in North Carolina. And Grandma Riggs would babysit for us a lot then. I'm not exactly sure of that road, but we lived on a road that seemed like that was close to the water. I don't know. That could have been the house that had a second story that had the flood. I don't know. But I was awful small. I was a little thing. I got a I got a memory of my Grandpa Smith, my dad's dad, with a cigar in his mouth, and it was a pool hall, I think. Maybe they just had pool tables too. But he was working on the grill, cooking hot dogs, and he would slice the hot dog right down the middle and fry it, leave it connected, and fry it, and then you'd have a sandwich, hot dog sandwich. So you take 2 hot dogs, cut them down the middle, but leave some skin, little meat, whatever. You just make it so you can bend them open, so you can fry them both sides. You grill it. Oh, they're good. I'm making myself salivate. I guess that's a good thing when you got a dry mouth to salivate. Yeah, I need to have some water. I think I started to do that. I don't know if I did it. You do tend to lose your voice if you talk too long. Maybe I'll leave the lid off. It's too hard to get it off. So, in the essence of things, what would that mean, the essence of things? Because I think we have an essence, okay? Our spiritual self is an essence. I don't know if it looks like this body, but Jesus looked like that body. That's what I was talking about. Jesus appeared to the brother of Jared, and he looked like he was physical, but he was not, because he told him he was not physical. But with his great faith, he was able to see the finger of God, which is Jesus, touching the stones to make them be light. They turned out to be the lights of the vessels that they were going to cross the big waters with. I got my hand over here working and you can't see it. I have to do that. Anyway, I made a mistake saying they were saucers. I don't think they were saucers, but they did mention the word saucer in the description. They were tight like a saucer. The wood was put together so tight that water couldn't get through it, okay? And then I don't know how thick the wood was, but they talked about, they were like barges, I think, but they were sealed tight like a saucer. And they didn't know how they were going to have light in there. And so God left it to them to figure that out. And I don't remember now who did what, but it was always the brother of Jared that was close to God and that talked to God. And Jared would always go to his brother and say, pray. Pray for us, da-da-da. So anyway, they figured he went up to the mountain and molten out of the rock crystals. I don't know how big they were. I think it said small stones, but they said they were transparent like glass. Anyway, and then he asked God to touch them and make them light. And he did. And when he did, the brother of Jared saw his finger touch each rock and turned it into light. And that's what they did in the barges. There were 8 vessels, and they put 2 stones, one on either end, or probably dispersed around, like I would say 2/3 is what I would do. That way you got the light going from both sides, you know. You get your light bulb, and then it's giving light over here, and it's giving light over here. And I probably need to go. I'm enjoying talking to you guys, and I've talked way too long anyway. Maybe I'll do something else. And I forget what today is. It's Saturday. I know that. Saturday before Valentine's Day. You guys have a happy Valentine's Day. I'm sure I'll be back, but you know, get prepared. Have something special. Do something nice. Take care, okay? Bye.